It's a musical lesson with Mrs. Sharp. Hi everybody, welcome to your first online lesson. So I thought we'd start out pretty easy. We're going to start with rhythm. So rhythm is how long or short a note lasts. In the Google Classroom, I did post the rhythm worksheet that I'm going to be working from so you can follow along. I do suggest that you either have like a hard surface to pat on with your hands. You can use pens or pencils as drumsticks. You can reuse real drumsticks. If you wanted to play it on your instrument or on a piano, you're more than welcome to as well. But we're focusing on rhythm only. We're not focusing on pitch in this lesson. So looking at your rhythm worksheet, looking at the first line, you'll see this. The number 4 over the number 4. This number on the bottom means that the quarter note, that guy, gets 1 beat. So if we have 4 beats in a measure, we can have 4 quarter notes. Now in the first line, this is not the note that we see. Instead, we see something that looks like this. This is actually 2 separate notes, but they're connected together. It's because the 2 of them together equal 1 beat. So they actually equal the same as 1 quarter note. However, they're going to produce 2 different sounds. This sounds really complicated, but let me explain it. 1 note, 1 sound. 2 notes, 2 sounds. So if I played just this one, if I played these 2, it would be ah. All right, so I just drew more of each of those things. So as you can tell that there are 4 quarter notes, just like our measure tells us there can be. And each of those quarter notes matches up with the first 8th note. All right, so I'm gonna play this line right here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. I could also say ta, 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 ta. If I wanted to be crazy, because I am, I could say yum, 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 yum. Yum is 1 syllable, 1 beat, 1 note. It makes sense. Going down to this line, my beat, the tapping on my pen, is still gonna only hit the first note because that matches the quarter note. But there's another note in there. So that's gonna happen between the beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and ta-dee, 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 ta-dee. And if you really like that fun extra little snippet, we got pizza, pizza, oops, I messed up. Pizza, 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 pizza. Now, if I were gonna clap this rhythm, not just do the beat, this is exactly what the first line is in your pattern. I'm gonna take my pen and do it. I got pizza, 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 pizza. And I just tapped 16 notes. The next line down does combine the 2 different kinds of notes. We start off with 4 8th notes and we end with 2 quarter notes. So you can think of this as short notes and long notes. So here we have 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Notice I didn't say and when I got to the quarter notes. That's because I didn't need to. There's no note there. So I'm not going to say and. I could also say ta-dee, ta-dee, ta, ta. Again, I didn't say D because there's no note. I'm only speaking or clapping or counting when I see a note. So I should only have, is that 4, 5, 6. I should only have 6 words or sounds or claps or taps because there's only 6 notes. I could also say pizza, pizza, yum, yum. Yeah? So go ahead and practice line 1 and 2. Pause if you need to. So after you've practiced those 2 lines, A and B, I'm actually going to skip down to line E, my favorite letter. Something has changed at the beginning of our line. We don't see 4 over 4 anymore. Instead, we see 2 over 4. The only thing that's changed is how many beats can fit inside a measure. Now it's only 2. Our quarter note still gets 1 beat. That is not changed. But now we have less room in our measures, so we can only fit 2 quarter notes or 4 8th notes. Now, this might look a little smushed, but hopefully you're following along on your own paper and it won't be so smushed. But I do want to show you that every measure after the first one, because they had to be difficult, but measure 2, measure 3, and measure 4, they're all the same rhythm. They all have 2/8 notes and then 1/4 note. 2/8 notes, 1/4 note, 2/8 notes, 1/4. So it's short, short, long, short, short, long, short, short, long. Or 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Or ta-dee-ta, ta-dee-ta, ta-dee-ta. Or pizza yum, pizza yum, pizza yum. I'm gonna give you a couple seconds to think about what this one would sound like. Okay, hopefully you figured it out. We got 1 and 2 in. Ta-dee, ta-dee. Pizza, pizza. So if we put it all together, we have pizza, 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 yum. Pizza, yum, pizza, yum. Not so bad when you kind of break it down and find where it repeats and then patterns. Go ahead and practice line E. See if you can figure out line F. There is a tricky thing at the end of line F. So let's see if you can figure that out. All right, hopefully you had time to pause and look back and figure out what that line F line ends with. That's with this. This is a half note. And I know it's not a quarter note because it's not colored in. I almost just colored it in. Whoops. It's a half note. So this is the only note that fits inside that measure. That's because it lasts for 2 whole beats. It takes up that whole entire measure because remember, we can only fit 2 beats in the measure. So it's 2 beats. This one lasts for 2 beats. Now, here's what's tricky, is that 2 quarter notes would also be 2 beats, but that is 2 separate notes. This is 1 long, we'll call it an extra long note. So now I'm gonna sing for you, sorry. 2 quarter notes, 2 colored in notes like that. Sorry, that's very messy. We would have la, la. This one, same length, but this one would be la. Notice how there wasn't a space and I didn't stop the note. Tricky. Okay, so I skipped down to line I, okay, because there's something new again. It's this squiggly line. It's in the second measure. The squiggly line is the same length as a quarter note, so we give it the same name. It's a quarter rest. Now the difference between a quarter note and a quarter rest is this one makes sound and this one is completely silent. So we have ta, ta-dee, ta-dee. Again, that's yum, pizza, pizza. Now, if in your head you could say things like ta or sh or yum, but you just can't vocalize it. So if I were to say the sh out loud, it would sound like this. Ta, ta-dee, sh, ta-dee. So take that sh out of there. Ta, ta-dee, ta-dee. Okay? Now you can look at line H, I, and J. They all use quarter rest, they just put them in different places. So see if you can practice with those rhythms and combinations. My challenge to you is to pick one of those lines and to add notes. So to play the correct... My challenge to you is to add notes to those rhythms. So for example, if I'm looking at line, I'm gonna pick line B, I would add ta-dee, ta-dee, ta, ta, ta-dee, ta-dee, ta. And all I did was do, re, mi, fa, sol, 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 fa, mi, re, do. Or if you like letters better for like a saxophone player, I go G, A, B, C, D, 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 C, B, A, G. Something like that. Get creative with it, and I can't wait to hear what you come up with, okay? Have a good day.